Yeah, Knoxville, what's going on? Hyrie right there, Hirie, with her song, her hit song, Sensi Boy. And one of the big people in reggae photography and just working with all these musicians, including Hyrie. Josue Rivas is on the phone right now. What is going on, Josue?
Hey, brother, how are you?
I mean, I'm doing great, man, and it's just an honor to talk to you live this time because I really think that people need to know that reggae music is a family, and it's not just the artists; it's everybody involved in the family, and that's why I want to spotlight, in my opinion, one of the most unbelievable photographers in our family, I guess you could say tonight. And I want to start it off right here. You know, we talked a little while back when we did the story, but I'm going to use some quotes tonight, and I want you to kind of explain these quotes. I was always around cameras. Where did you come from?
Well, my dad is a photographer, and he, growing up, I was able to be around, physical cameras, but then also, also observe the world because I feel that our eyes, and ourselves, we are a camera of our own, recording, this reality as we go through it. So, in a way, like since I was really little, and especially now that I got older, I was able to utilize myself, my own camera, which is, me, and kind of, pair it with a physical camera, which is, like a DSLR, and, and do something with it, and, started getting curious about the world. And so, yeah, I've always been around cameras, both physical and also spiritual.
Yeah, and you did grow up in Mexico, correct?
Yeah, until I was 11, and then I grew up in LA after that.
Yeah, and you moved to the California area, and you made your name around around the town. You're working with OC Weekly, but specifically you're working with reggae music quite a bit in this whole movement we call reggae music. You said knowing what you're doing and knowing how to use your camera is the most important thing, with the exception of making sure that you and this artist that you're taking a picture of, it shouldn't just be this whole idea of I'm making money and they're making money. Tell us more a little bit about that, because there's a lot of photographers out there, music photographers, I guess you could say, just like, yeah, I make money and then they make money. But how do you really get that right shot? I think it's more than that, right?
Yeah, I think you know, I stumbled upon this scene in a way that it was just kind of like out of destiny, I think, because I'm growing as a photographer, and I feel like this scene is also growing as a movement. So going through the OT Weekly and being able to get press passes for all these shows that I started getting into, like Revolution and doing Narco and Steel Pulse, and I started kind of recording all these performances, but then also I started trying to get close to the more human aspect of this artist, and I think that's where I really found my natural instinct as a photographer, was to go and photograph them off stage and kind of like develop this relationship of two artists working together, as opposed to one just being a photographer and selling the photos to the artist. It was more like creating together, and especially when it came down to Naco, that's when everything kind of got down to okay, cool, like I can be around this person who's an artist, but then also I can be around this person who's a human, and I can tell his story and document his story as it's happening, regardless of whether I was getting paid $20,000 or I was getting paid whatever the artist can pay. It's very much about being able to connect to the artist, because this movement in this scene is growing rapidly, and in 10 years, everyone's gonna be able to live comfortably out of the scene, and out of having so many people engaged in the scene. So yeah, I guess if that answers my question, yeah, that's how I got in there. It's connecting. it's more than just taking photos. It's actually developing a spiritual relationship with this artist.
I mean, it really is. And let me ask you this. See if you agree with this. I have this kind of idea in my head, after doing this for about 5 years, and obviously way before that, loving reggae music and the scene for, before that. But with the radio, I hear all this kind of, weird kind of sounds here and there from around the scene. And I don't name anybody or anything, but I really say that when I interview somebody, it shouldn't be an interview. It should be a conversation. And I think that's how you really get to the heart of these people. Am I correct?
I believe so. I mean, it's I don't approach my subject as like, you're this artist and I'm this photographer, and you're better than me, or you're an artist, so I shouldn't talk to you in a certain way. I just come in as myself, and I try to to do some research before I get to them. I try to better understand their music and better understand their their whole concept with their brand. But then also once it gets down to meeting the person and and actually talking to them, like what happened with Trish, with Tyree, it was a very instantaneous way of connecting with her and her family, her managers, her husband, and meeting them on the road and in Cali routes, and it was just very we had to sit down and talk. And then after that, that's when we're like, hey, let's create something together. Let's do a photo shoot. And they're like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And then we just started getting into it, and then that's how things I think start. It's putting in the work, to actually get to know these people, and then really project what they want to project, through their image.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough thing as a journalist, a fellow journalist. You're a photojournalist, I'm a radio journalist. I'm trying to work into this whole photojournalism kind of thing. But you're right. It's with reggae music. There's something about this whole family that we have, and you have to go in with these people if they don't know you or if they know you, and project family. And it's so important because you cannot go in there as just I'm in the press, because a lot of people in our scene don't go with that, and I understand that, I do. And you're talking about Hyrie here for a second. I've got a couple quotes from Trish. He doesn't capture images, he captures moments. And one thing about being in front of Josue's lens is you can't stay still. So how does that relate to your photography? What does that mean?
Well, I think that just based on what we shot with Hyrie, I think that it is about the moment, because it is a fact that we're living in this moment right now. I mean, 10 minutes ago I was calling you, and then now I'm here talking to you. In like 10 minutes I'm not gonna talk to you. So it's about being in the moment, and with a camera being able to take a photo, push the shutter and take the shot, and then being present in the shot. So being present when someone's performing, and being present with the music, listening to the music, like feeling that the vibe. If you don't feel like the vibe is right, then then don't take the shot. If you feel like the vibe is right, then go for it. Follow your instinct and take the shot. So it's about like the moment, being present in the moment. And then also when it comes to a photo shoot with me, it's not just like a photo shoot where I tell you to stand up there and just do funny things, or look this way, look that way. It's more like it's an experience. I like to have people have good experiences, because people never forget how you make them feel. And when you make someone feel good as an artist, they'll keep coming back to you. They'll be like, I know that person is gonna give me an experience, and not just photos. And it's gonna give me amazing photos, but then also want to get something out of it. Something that it's almost like when you go to the colleges. You go there in search of something, seeking something. And a lot of the people, especially in the reggae scene, they have a very spiritual side to themselves. So they cannot just go to a photographer who's gonna put them in a studio and just take some shots. We have to connect to a certain extent. So I think that's what she meant.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, you're listening to Simmer Down 90.3 The Rock in Knoxville, Tennessee, or speaking with one of the absolute greats in photography when it comes to our family and reggae scene, Josue Rivas. And man, he's done some unbelievable stuff. Check it out, Josue Rivas Photography with an F on Facebook and also his website. It's an honor to talk to you, man. We can't wait to see you at Cali Roots. For a second here, you've been to the real Cali Roots, the big one in Monterey, and shot that. I've done the Cali Roots Carolina sessions, which is still the same thing. But why should people come out and come see this festival in a couple weeks?
Well, I think that, I truly believe that it's a movement. That's one of the hashtags that we use at Cali Roots. It's a movement. And I experienced that last year myself where, there's a group of artists from the, smallest artists that are coming up to, big names like Steel Pulse who are present in this one place. And then all of a sudden you realize that, you're experiencing a part of history. Like last year, Soulja burned a guitar, in the main stage, and that was history right there. So, and, it's making a statement too. It's making a statement to, politically, socially, spiritually too. And, with NACO, it's a movement. It's a movement that is coming through music, through art, through performance, and it's expressing yourself. So I think people need to experience that because it's not like going to Coachella where you're gonna go and get fed all these things.
Right.
Not that Coachella is bad or anything, but when you go to Cali Roots, it's like a big family reunion. It's like the biggest family reggae reunion, in the United States, I think. So
in the world.
So
I mean
maybe in the world.
It's really become something huge, like really huge. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's just gonna keep growing. I mean, this year, if I can name a few names that I think people should definitely be, looking out for, it's obviously NACO. NACO is, is on the rise, and NACO is bringing a good ceremony to the stage, and you're gonna have that with people like Trevor Hall, people like Soulja, like Dustin Thomas, Little Buffalo, which he used to play for NACO, and he's doing some solo work, and just people that are bringing you like really big messages and tribal seats. Doing this for 10 years, so it's basically gonna be like a big gathering of positive reggae music, basically.
It is. I mean, it's unbelievable. We played a little spotlight earlier on the solo breakout artist. Coming from these super groups, I guess I would say. Like Tribal Seeds, Naco Bear, Sick Figure, K-Bong, Dustin Thomas, as well as Ian Young, have really come out and have unbelievable records, tracks, songs, movements, vibes. Aside from their own bands. And it's really just blown me away, and I can't wait for this Cali Roots thing. CaliRootsFestival.com. This is Josue Rivas right here, the master reggae photographer. He's working with OC Weekly. He's done all kinds of stuff, and it's just an honor to have you on and talk to the people because I really think reggae music is more than just this and that and this and that. It's about our family. As a population in reggae, and it's not just the artists, it's the DJs, it's the photographers like you, it's it's everybody. We're all a family. So one more thing, I gotta ask you here. Usually I ask, what does reggae mean to you? But tonight I want to ask one thing for you, or to you, I guess I could say. If somebody out there in radio world or whatever it may be, really was interested in picking up a camera and starting to shoot not just music but the world, what would you say to them?
I said to stay curious because, there's a path for everyone, and everybody has some sort of purpose, and when you pair that with a camera or with any form of art, for that matter, then you start understanding a little bit more about yourself and a little bit more about the world. So, anybody who really wants to shoot and takes photos and just master your camera, but stay curious. Like, from last year, from being a Cali Roots, now I have a little pressure from I put my standard really high, for the quality of my work, but now I come in, I'm very curious about certain things about this year, and I'm shooting officially for Cali Roots this year, and pairing up with Ineffable Music and Roots Fire. So, now I have all this access that I never had before, in a festival. So, I'm gonna be able to capture moments that nobody else is gonna be able to capture because I'm gonna have all these access. So I'm gonna stay curious and obviously my camera, and I know how to work it very well. But I think curiosity is never stop being curious, even when you're an old man and you still have a camera and go and shoot because this is a lifetime commitment.
It is, man. Hey, it's 90.3 The Rock. This is Simmer Down. Speaking with Josue Rivas, master reggae photographer. Not just reggae, I mean, working with OC Weekly, and just shooting some unbelievable pictures all the time. I mean, it's just an honor to talk to you, man, and we will see you at Cali Roots. Thank you so much. Holler at everybody right now. How can we find you and your photographs?
Well, I'm going to be shooting for Cali Roots, so definitely look out for other Cali Roots photos that they're going to be my photos. And then also my Instagram, I think that connecting through Instagram has been very successful for me. So it's at Josue_FOTO. Look out for my photos there, or at rootfire.net. That's where a lot of my photos are as well.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming out and talking with us in Knoxville, Tennessee, way across the country tonight. And I will see you at Cali Roots, all right?
Sounds good, my brother. Much love to you.
Big ups. Thank you so much. All right, that was Josue Rivas, the master reggae photographer for our genre and our scene and our family. It really is a family. I truly believe it is. It's not just the artist. It's everybody that makes it work. And I just want to spotlight some of these people every once in a while because they mean a lot. They really do. So we're going to do one of his favorite groups for sure, Naco Bear, Medicine for the People. If you guys don't know this song, Simma.
Lend your ears, lend your hands, lend your movement, anything you can. Come to teach, come to be taught, come in the likeness and the image of God. 'Cause you can be like that, with all that humbleness and all that respect.